I had scheduled this for tomorrow. Oopsies, I did not check the date.
Oh.
I was like, why isn't it going?
There's 2 Dannies.
I see.
It should not be there. Oh, no.
And retweet the link. I'll go ahead and retweet it.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay. What's up, guys?
Not much.
Right now,
You have a lot. Lots to discuss.
Yes, very, very much lots of things to discuss. So many. That was bad English. Lots of things to discuss. Yes, I agree.
I'm letting you know right now, like, my Tumblr has been blowing up nonstop over the fact that you know who showed up and they're freaking out.
Dude, when that happens, I saw like the lightning and everything. I was like, oh shit. But actually, I think someone had tweeted it out before, and I was like, oh, he's in this? Okay.
Damn it, Twitter, they cropped out Lucian's. All you see is like the bottom half of his body. Uh-oh, it's okay.
But I was still like, oh dang.
Dude, I still saw that spoiler and I still freaked out over seeing him. I was like, no way, that's real. And as soon as I saw the episode, I was like, oh my fucking god, I lost my mind.
Hey, Governor Jupiter in the chat. Welcome. Well, I should probably go on your channel to answer in chat if I need to.
Yeah.
I didn't know you can't do it when you're like your guest in the stream.
Yep, that's the only downside. But it's okay.
All right, cool.
I had to use that sad Lucian.
Do it.
For your thumbnail, yeah.
Pain, man, pain.
Dude, bless Bill Rogers, man.
I know, Bill is just
right.
The greatest.
Bless him.
Especially yesterday, if anybody saw Josie just live stream. That was the greatest thing ever.
That was wholesome shit, I'm telling you.
It was.
Just by Bill's reaction over getting asked a Mr. Lowe question, I lost my mind. Like, he was just like, you could tell he was like, I'm down.
He's like, I got this.
Joe looked so surprised when Bill said he watched the anime. I was like, I wouldn't ask him that question if I didn't know he watched the anime. Like, trust me, I know he watched it.
Yeah.
I tweeted out the link, or I retweeted the link to the stream and everything. I put all the hashtags. I'm sorry if you guys can hear me like playing with ice and stuff, because I got fillings today and they cut my tongue a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm like eating ice to like make the pain go away. I'm not eating it, I'm sucking on it. That sounds really bad. But yeah, they cut my tongue.
That sounds painful.
It's not that bad. It's just like a sting. Take care of your teeth, kids. So you don't have to go through shit like this.
Right. I guess we should start talking.
Yes, everybody in chat, please share the link to the stream so more people can join.
We know it's late, but thank you for coming. We just have a lot to discuss for today with Lucian. And other things.
Sad boy hours.
It was sad boy hours.
Let's get real. They dropped some new information on us, or maybe information that was already there, and they dropped it on us today, and it was a lot to process for me.
Definitely. A lot of your theories were coming true, Dani, as you were saying in our group chat.
I'm telling you, I was watching the whole episode, and it was literally me the whole time going, I fucking knew it! I knew it! Out loud, and my daughter kept looking at me like, wow, Mom. I'm like, you watch your show. I'm doing this. I was yelling. I was like, I knew it!
She's like, let me just slowly leave and not ask anything.
Slowly back away.
My daughter just looked at me like, wow, Mom, okay.
Oh, Mom's screaming again. She's watching something crazy.
I'm pretty sure she's used to my like overexcitement on things now, so she's like, whatever. I was gonna watch TV.
My daughter thinks it's hilarious whenever I have a freak out moment.
I bet.
Because it'll just happen out of nowhere and she just looks and she just starts giggling.
I mean, I feel like we all have like really good like reactions. We're all very like exaggerated.
Yeah.
So I'm sure for like everyone around us who really knows us is probably like they probably think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably think it's hilarious.
Dramatic. That's okay. I don't mind being dramatic. At least in that sense.
Right? Alrighty, guys. I guess let's do this. Shall we start?
Sure.
Okay. So you guys already know all of us, I think, by this point. But if you don't, hi. My name is Chantal, or Marshmallow Love, here on YouTube and like other social media except for Twitter because that name is already taken. Oh well.
Someone beat you to it.
I know, it sucks. I have to pull a Levi if I want to like.
It's okay. Someone stole my Twitter handle on Tumblr.
Oh no. It's all right.
But I never use it anyway, so.
I am joined by my two best friends here. If y'all want to introduce yourselves.
Go first, Dani. Have ice in my mouth.
It is I, the worm. But everyone just calls me Dani at this point. You're good.
And I'm Mia, aka Mia Fran, here on YouTube and on Twitter. What's up?
Well, yeah. Where should we start? Because it's a lot.
Oh man,
I don't know. I don't know where to start.
All right. Let's see. Okay, the opening. We know this is what, chapter 10
9
in the game. 9, is it 9 in the game?
Yeah,
that's right. Because Victor's.
Yeah, because isn't the next one chapter 10 with Victor?
Yes.
10 and 11. Which
Based
threw
on
me off. The
pictures, screenshots.
Yeah. That's what. So we open up with they're basically going on a trip. Is the one we see in the game, right? They're basically like going out just for FCs, according to Lucian. But tis not true. Lucian, then he He pulled a fast one on us, which we'll find out later. Kinda. His intentions were kinda good, I guess. It depends on how you look at it. I don't know.
It was. Oh, but this episode
There was a
made
lot
me
of
question my loyalty for Gavin.
there was a lot of parallels. I feel like a bunch of the stories that were being told were like kind of paralleling his backstory a little bit, like the thing with the little fox, the little prince.
Yeah.
That got my attention real quick. Is one of the things that the MC says. Some lines from the book. I kind of felt like, which is kind of weird because the fox is actually considered Lucian's animal.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like there was just like a lot of parallels for that. I was like, okay, so I don't know if she's. So it kind of made. If I felt like it was double meaning, right? Like she's talking about an excerpt. She's basically saying an excerpt from The Little Prince, but I also felt like she was kind of talking about Lucian without meaning to. At least that's what I felt. Like looking at the scene, I was like, oh, why do I have a feeling she's talking about Lucian? But I know she's not because she doesn't really know what's going on. Like she doesn't have any clue what's happening right now. You know what I mean? Like this is basically an innocent walkabout in the countryside. There's nothing more than that.
But little does she know.
But little does she know, it is sad boy hours though.
You know.
With this particular Lucian episode, not only do we get like we got a lot. We actually got his backstory in a way I didn't expect to get it. Because that was at least for us here in the States, this is new information for us concerning Lucian.
Yeah, I mean they do tell you a little bit in chapter 9, but you kind of have to like make your own guesses as to.
You have to guess. You really do. You got to like really be like, okay, so maybe this happened, maybe this happened. It's a lot of guesswork.
They leave it really open-ended. Like, this is probably what happened. I don't know. And this episode confirmed.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad we have the anime to confirm like our suspicions or guesses as to like smaller elements of like the backstories and everything. Because they don't tell you every single detail about like their backstories or anything. So like sometimes you have to just kind of infer, like with the information you already have, what's the actual truth. So I'm glad the anime is kind of like filling all the gaps, or like confirming or denying like whatever theories everybody has. And like Dani, you're pretty good at predicting those theories, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling you, the whole time was just me yelling. I knew it really loud. I'm not joking. And that's how excited I was. But it was kind of sad at the same time because I didn't want one theory to be true, and then the anime is like, "No, bro, you are right. You were right." And I'm like, "No, I want to be right. Take it back."
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. And
I'm like, I didn't want to be right. I honestly didn't, because I had in the back of my mind, because I really think about these kind of things, right? So I've always had my suspicions about Black Swan. I've always had like there's like some theories that I had because someone had made and I agree with them. They had made a parallel to basically saying that this is basically kind of like X-Men kind of a deal, where it's kind of like you have your secret organizations, and of course they're not called mutants
Right.
here they're called evolvers. So
right,
I always had a theory, in the back of
where
my
they're like
head,
experimenting on people who weren't born with powers and give them like basically artificial powers, and it kind of like screws with their
I have side effects
internal
yeah
body,
which is something that was brushed, which yes has been brought up in comics. I would know, but like there's just that one theory that I had, and I didn't want it to be confirmed. So I'm pretty sure we've all seen the episode by now, and this is spoiler warnings for everybody, but so if you guys remember that part in the game, we get a flashback to where Lucien was in a car accident as a very young child. His age is not specified, but he was a very young child. It was him and his parents. That was something that we didn't know about. His parents died in that accident. He survived. He survived. His injuries were severe enough that he had to go to the hospital And we know how bad it was because he was basically in a pool of his own blood on the freaking road, which was very sad.
I know that was like really brutal.
I was like, oh god, I didn't expect. I knew it was gonna come, and I was like, I'm expecting that scene because we got it in the game, but it's different, right? We only got that one picture, and then this one is like, nope, the car swerved, it hit, and I was like, oh god, like he was a little kid, man. And of course, it elaborates more that he had been taken to the hospital. A group of people showed up at the hospital, and basically, I guess until I'm proven wrong, I guess they might have like kidnapped him, or at least kind of went under the assumption that they were doctors themselves. They didn't know that or they intentionally like spirited him to a facility with Black Swan, but he was taken there and he was experimented on. Lucian drops the knowledge on us that he was born a non-evolver, however, he is a man-made evolver and given his powers.
My baby.
And yes, I say powers because I'm going to say it right here and now. He has more than one evolve. He does.
He can copy.
Which has been, until proven otherwise, I'm going to tell you what it is. Besides his reflection evolve, and I talked to Chantel about this, and I think this is the first time I'm really mentioning it to Mia, how I came up with that idea of him having this evolve. But one of them, his second evolve is basically I call it the copycat evolve to others. So later in the game, and again, this is spoilers for those of you who haven't made it that far into the game, and this may be spoilers for any kind of future episodes or references that the anime may do. But Lucien, at one point in the game, has to help out the MC. However, he's pulling out different types of evolve powers, basically like out of nowhere. But he was around certain characters that had the same evolve, and a character drops it and basically says, "Yeah, you can't copy so many at once." And I'm like, okay, so that makes sense. Which is how he can by in quotations use multiple evolves. Technically, it's copying one. And yes, there is a limit, which was proven in the game, that he can only go so far to do it. But again, until proven otherwise. I believe copy was his second evolve.
Yeah. Like I knew they experimented on him because it's heavily hinted in the Midnight Date. Heavily in a couple other dates that I can like vaguely remember. And I'm like, this is suspicious. And then once you go through the story, you're like, okay, there's a lot of like little puzzle pieces that they're giving you, and you kind of have to put them together. So that's how I came with my conclusion. Because I mean, when you see the Midnight Date, you look at that karma, and you're like, okay, I need to know why my boy is looking like he's in pain. And why there's pills around. And he does take medication to keep his Evol in check because he cannot control it.
Which makes sense. I mean, if he's a man, unlike the others that we know of, a man-made evolver wouldn't have control right away, because it was proven, at least in the anime, at least giving clarification, that at 5 years old, the MC had full control of her evolve. And in theory, I feel like if a non-evolver got powers, they aren't born with it. It's not a part of them. Their body has to get used to it. And of course, naturally, it would come out of control. At least that's what I think.
Yeah. Oh, my poor Lucien. Because every time he does like the whole, my chest, I'm like, no. Someone help him, please.
Right? It's like, oh man, like what's happening?
Because you know that he... Again, I'm reminded by the Midnight Date because the same exact thing happens in the Midnight Date and he's trying to shoo MC away so she doesn't know. So he passes it off as, "Oh, don't worry, I'm sick. It'll be fine. It's just the cold." As soon as he leaves, like she leaves, drops the whole persona, and he's like in pain, and he's just like, "I need to stop. Like, where's my medication? Like, help."
My God.
It's a very sad date. If you think it's painful, I definitely recommend looking at it if you guys have no idea or want a little bit more insight with Lucian. Check that one out. It's all over YouTube because this one is a paid card, so you have to spend a good chunk of your money. Unless you already have it. I think Mia already has it, so she can probably read it.
Do I have it?
I think you do.
What card is it? Let me check. I don't know if I have it or not.
He's basically in bed. He looks all sweaty. And you can see like pills in the background.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me.
But if you evolve it, he's looking in the mirror, clutching at his chest, and you can kind of see him like he looks like in pain very much. So, my poor baby Lucian.
Yeah, but
is it the one? Is it the one with the glasses?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do have that one. I have that card. So I do have that date. I don't think I've. Let me see. Have I even unlocked this? There's so many dates I haven't unlocked.
Because that one was the first one that got my attention with Lucian. Like, out of all the karmas, that's the one that was like, why is that one looking like that while all the other boys are like happy-go-lucky? I don't understand.
I've unlocked the first part of that one.
And there are a few other dates out there that he's basically talking to Black Swan before, all the, shit hits the fan. And you're like, uh-oh. So I feel like if you're a Lucian stan and you were like getting these cards, you kind of had a vague idea like where this was going to go eventually. If you read some of the dates. Because it's not... Those dates, man. It's a mixture of both like information with him and Black Swan and about him and his past a little bit, with like sometimes sprinkle in like, let's stop giving the Lucian stans pain and give him a little bit of like happiness, which does not last very long. Like I said in previous videos, we're either sad or it's like horny hours with Lucian. Or both.
Sad horny hours.
Yes. It's either both or one or the other. And then when they showed him like not seeing in colors when they were doing the little charm.
The charm, yeah.
Yep, the little thing that. Oh yeah. So something we should probably mention, everybody, if they haven't seen the episode, is that the side effect of the fact of him being a non-evolver and having been given his powers, he basically says that he can't feel emotion and he can't see color. All with the exception, of course, with the MC, because for the longest time he believed that he couldn't see color until he met her. Which I think the only reason he does see her in color is because she's the queen.
She's the
Is that why?
queen.
Is that why he wears a pink tie, a bad tie with that purple shirt?
I think the
Probably.
pink tie looks nice. But maybe I just have bad taste.
Because he doesn't know which colors look at it. Because I forgot for a second that he couldn't see color, or like I knew he couldn't, but like when it showed his perspective when she's holding up the different like ribbons for the charm, I was like, why are they black and white? But she was holding up like 5 different colors, and I was like, oh yeah, he can't see. She only hers, which he can see in color. I don't know why I like didn't remember. Like I knew it, but I didn't know it at the same. I don't know.
It just didn't click right away.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
I bet. I'm
still alive.
My poor big Lucian. I kept saying that the whole time, and like I said, like I really questioned my loyalty with Gavin. I was like, no.
Damn, girl.
It's because this episode just reminded, like, it brought back so many emotions, and I felt like I was like reliving like the whole chapter again and how I first felt when I was reading this, which was like absolute pain and also like, because I think this chapter when I first read it, it was like around August, right? So we had barely got the beach stuff, right? I think around that time I also read his beach date, which felt like, you guys haven't read the beach date. Basically, MC has like a dream and Lucien basically disappears. And he pretty much says, no, don't worry about that. That's just a dream. I'm not going to leave you. Little does she know. And even he, like, there's like a little segment in there that says, yep, he was planning to leave me all along. So basically, that date kind of felt like he was prepping MC for his departure of everything that's going to happen.
That's the thing about Lucian, is that he's just surrounded. Like, let's get real. Like, no matter what the anime would tell us, like, if there's so much about his life that is still shrouded in so many mysteries. Like, we don't, like, even if I say like, oh, he has these two evils. Like, let's be honest. I don't know the full extent of his power. None of us do. We don't know the full extent of his powers or what he can do, or if he has more than one. We really don't know much about what he did for Black Swan in the beginning of his life, or what they had him do as far as like training and stuff. We really don't know his life. And I feel like Lucian's motivations and like how he deals with, like, I feel like his drive and what motivates him is very different. Like, I feel like there's more to the story than what we know. Like, I feel like he really didn't want to leave the MC, but I feel like he had his reasons to do so. We just don't know what they are. Like, he's a I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. He is a complex character, and until we know the whole story, we just gotta keep an open mind. Like, I respect his character, and he's just, Lucian himself is a very complex person. Like, I just feel like there's so many layers to peel back to just get to know him.
Yeah. And even then with this episode, it, like I said earlier, it just feels like he's prepping her to like leave her eventually, because
yeah, I felt that way too. Like, when I remember reading the chapter and then watching the anime kind of reminded me, I was like, you're gonna leave and it's gonna hurt. I feel like you're gonna leave and it's gonna hurt her, it's gonna hurt me. That kind of, I was just like, in the back of my mind, like, seeing it again, like, just seeing it again brought that back. I was like, I remember feeling like so anxious. I was like, why would you leave? Like, why would you leave?
I know. When I first read it in the chapter, I was like crying. I was like, Lucian, why? Why is this boy, the one I supposedly really loved at the time, was giving me sad boy hours while the other guys were fine and dandy? Like, what the fuck? I did not sign up for this.
Right? This is all fine and dandy, and then you hit your chapter and you fucked it all up for us. Like, why, man?
We just want to love you, Lucian, and we know you wanted to, but you make it kind of impossible. All those sad boy hours.
Man, I'm telling you, like, the anime, just not just Lucian. We got to see kind of a little bit about, like I said, like the MC when she was real little. Like, she got to clarify some things for us.
Yeah, which was really great, because I feel like what little MC was saying, nothing like that was really like fully explained in the game.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, the little MC basically up and said, she was like, she recognizes little MC is a boss. Let's get real. She fully understood, at least into the mind of a child, that her dreams came true. She knew it was precognition to an extent, right? And I feel like she had control over it. She has a better understanding, right? She knew. She was like, yeah, no, I see today, I see tomorrow, that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So she knew it was precognition. She knew it was.
Yeah.
And Like it just hit, like it hit a you know what I'm talking about. As soon as little MC turns around, she was like, "He's gonna leave. He's not coming back." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then you look at her, like if you look at her face, if you look at little MC's face, she's so sad about it. Like
I
she's so
know.
heartbroken, and she hasn't. And in technicality, she hasn't experienced it yet, but she knew. And Lucian is like looking at her, and he's so shocked that he's like, "Oh crap!" Like she knew even before she lost her memory. And I'm like, "Ooh." Like that scene hit hard. I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, he was so shook. Like the way that his eyes just like I can't explain it. Like you have to see it for like you know what I'm saying? I'm bad at
Like that
explaining things,
moment,
but you can
like that moment, he just like he's basically being confronted. Like I kind of put this on Tumblr too. It's like the MC is sad, but it's nothing to the shock of Lucian hearing it, and he knows that in the back of his mind, he knows that the things that he's done or he's going and is going to do may not be forgiven, and he just didn't think it'd be so soon that he'd be confronted with the MC basically telling him, "Yeah, you're not going to be able to come back from this."
yeah.
And I was like, "Oof." Like that hit, and like just like having that confrontation, you know what I mean? Like the utter shock on his face. I mean, I feel like in Lucian's complex brain, I feel like he had an idea going in what he was gonna do and how he was gonna see it planned out. And he didn't plan for this. He didn't plan to genuinely feel anything, and he is feeling. I feel like during those little moments with the MC, I think he felt guilty dragging her in.
Right, because he doesn't really want to. Obviously, like he says he's emotionless, but like when it comes to MC, it's like, nah, dude, you see color with her, you have emotions when you're around her. Like she really, I mean, sure, she's like clearly she's the queen and everything, and of course that's got an effect on everybody with Evol, but it's also just that's how he feels about her. It's like it's almost like the emotions are kind of like breaking through whatever blockage
happened after the
physically is
experimentation.
happening. Yeah, like mutation blockage or whatever. Like no, it's making its way through somehow. It's the power of love, like the song.
Right.
So, besides, of course, this was a Lucian-centered episode, but like we've been talking about, they're condensing the plot. Like they're condensing all the other shit and giving a straight up plot. I kind of figured out how they're gonna incorporate due to a certain, and we're gonna bring this. I'm bringing this up right now because I lost my fucking mind. How they're gonna bring certain dates into the game story because we've all been waiting for the. Was it the drunken love date? The beach date with Gavin.
Yeah, which now I'm like, I think they just pulled a big old like reverse Uno on us or something because I don't think we're getting any of that.
It's probably just for like the sake of the PV, but that's not the point. If you
or they're gonna show a montage or something.
Yeah, like,
and it was just animated for that.
I think it was just definitely for us Mr. Love fans to be excited. And now yep, they got us talking, and we're basically not going to get dates unless they have some type of ties.
This episode.
Yep. Unless it has some type of ties to the main story, which is most of Lucian's dates.
I'm telling you, man. So, have you ever went through Gavin's airport date?
I did.
I have it, but I haven't unlocked it. Haven't gone through it.
Yeah, they incorporated in that episode. They just did it a little differently. Because a certain confrontation in the airport date happened in this episode. Just a little differently.
Oh, really? That happens in that date?
Yes, it does. So, if you guys have never gone through Gavin's airport date, it's exactly as it sounds like. It's a little different. The MC is going towards the airport. There's a blackout all of a sudden. She's kind of freaking out. And she's like, oh no, this, that, and the other. Cutscene, it goes to Gavin. He's on a little mission, this, that, and the other. Basically, because one of his jobs, right? He just had a mission to do. All of a sudden, at the time, it was not voiced. Now it is. We hear a voice. And, well, now we do. But someone's talking to Gavin. And, you know, they're having this little back and forth about the MC. And he's like, nah, you need to stay away. That's it. And he's like, you know what? Maybe. And I'm like, who is this bastard? And, of course, we find out who it is. The anime did something a little different with that. We, of course, get the Lucian episode. We get all this knowledge dropped on us. We see Gavin on the roof. And all of a sudden,
guess who shows up?
Lightning strikes.
And we see Pikachu. I mean, we see Shaw.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'll never not call him that. I'm sorry, guys. Just know that I refer to him in a... Okay, so for the record, I'm just letting you guys know right now. I refer to Shaw as Skater Boy and Pikachu. And it's mainly those two.
I mean, he was listening to Green Day. We first meet
Green Day, yeah. But yes, Shaw shows up.
Oh my god.
And I lost my mind. I screamed. Because, yes, that's who shows up in the airport date. Because Alex Lee went ahead and voiced the airport date again. And he's the voice for Shaw in the game. So I'm like, yep, that's Shaw. He shows up. And him and Gavin have a very interesting conversation. Kind of around the same thing. Shaw kind of talks to Gavin about, hey, you kind of need to, basically, it's Shaw's way of saying, you need to mind your damn business, stay out of it. Gavin doesn't like to hear that, and he's like, really, dude? They kind of talk more about it in depth. Shaw kind of hits Gavin with something that isn't kind of specified till later into the game. Shaw basically goes and kind of tells Gavin, what do you think happens to the people that you capture? What, do you think it's like this really nice, oh, they detain and this, that, and the other? Like, yeah, bro, no, it's not. And Shaw kind of warns Gavin, like, you need to keep above water, bro. That's basically it. Gavin is questioning himself now. He's being told the STF is not on the up and up. He goes to investigate what happens to the people he captured, or was basically under arrest. He finds no information on them. There is no whereabouts of any of the people that were sent to STF custody. Now he's having doubts, which would later be a turn for him in the game. And again, I feel like we've talked about this before, that they're really giving us the plot, and this was a great way to like steam on ahead.
Introduce it.
Yeah. Just seeing Shaw for the first, I did not expect to see him. We talked about this last week about the possibility of seeing him, and we saw him. And I fucking knew it. I've been saying this all day. I fucking knew it.
Dani was freaking out since the episode, yo. She's like, I fucking knew it. And I'm like, there's a lot of things that you've called so far. So I'm like, what is it this time?
I know, right? Which specific thing? I'm like, this thing. And I'm like, fucking Sean. I'm like, wait, I'm not gonna do it.
I cannot believe he got shot, but he looks so
great. And
he looks delicious,
let's just give it up to the anime creators, because they gave us they gave nothing away that Shaw was going to show up. So bless them for giving us that beautiful surprise, because that was awesome.
That was a really good fight scene, man. I was like,
that was a good fight scene. Because, you know, it kind of, again, there's just, Shaw and Gavin just proved the Fandom's theories with that fight, by the way. There's just something so very similar about their evolves. I can't place it. I wonder what it is.
Right?
I just feel like there's some relation to it.
I wonder whether or not we're gonna find out.
Which I'm pretty sure the anime will confirm. I hope anyway.
Yeah. And the anime basically give it away. Like, if you look at, like, just take a good look at them. Like, really look at them. this time around. Unlike the game does it for us too, but look at them in the anime now. It's like so much clearer now.
Because from what I can tell from the Chinese server peeps, they said it's never confirmed what their relationship is, but they can only imply because there's just too many like things fitting in. It's like, how could they not be?
Yeah, there's just so many. I'm sorry, guys. Their evolves give it away. You look at them, like really look at them now. There's just so many things now that I can point out and be like, this gives it away. This gives it away.
Certain the way that they talk to each other.
Yeah, there's so much familiarity with the way that they speak. Certain things in Gavin's rumors and secrets.
Yep.
Give it away. Like there's just so much, and it's been a long theory in the fandom. We may or may not tell you what that is. I mean, I guess you guys can guess because we're all thinking the same thing. It hasn't been proven at this point, but we all kind of feel the same way. There's just no way that it's not possible. I'll be very surprised if it's not, but
I know if they pull like some bullshit on us and we were wrong this whole time and be like, no.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, but no, there's too many coincidences for it to not be true though. I feel like there's just so many things that kind of just stick out to me specifically that basically says, nope, this is it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I've just there's just so many coincidences for it not to be right.
It's interesting as that Shaw said he works for nobody.
Is what he says, but
I
have a feeling I know who he's working for, even though he won't say it out loud. I have a feeling why he won't, because it'll piss off Gavin.
I know who he's working with, and it's somebody that you probably won't expect. That is all I'll say. That is all I'll say.
I can't even guess, so...
I have 3 guesses. 2 are more than likely than the third.
Well, we're gonna have to talk about this off podcast so we don't spoil anybody. But
yeah, so talk about this off stream.
It's interesting, but if you guys want to find out that information, I'm not stopping you. It's out there if you look hard enough. If you follow anybody that follows the Chinese server story very closely.
Yeah, also, if you don't mind being spoiled.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a good minute until we get all this.
Yeah, it'll be it's a long time coming for us. We're barely getting certain things in the game. I mean, we barely got those fucking cards that we recently got in the wish tree, so
it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, shows you how behind we are. But we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there part of the story. It's a process, but bless the anime right now, because oh my god.
That's why I don't like it when people keep saying I feel bad for the anime onlys. I'm like, no. I'm seeing a couple anime onlys that are like, oh my god, this is great. I love this. This is not like what I expected it to be, because they thought it was gonna be like some slice of life, super cutesy romance, otome, like your basic otome stuff. Which
I thrive on this.
Everybody thought it was gonna be complete shit. That's what every person that reacts to Mr. Love has not played the game. There is a guy too that is doing reactions, and he's like, oh my god, like this is so great. And it's kind of interesting.
Guys.
I know, and I get so excited to see his reactions, because I'm like, oh my gosh. And hearing him talking, because before he starts the episode, he's like, okay, here's what I think is gonna happen. I'm like, you're correct, sir. That's what's gonna happen. It's pretty interesting. So whenever I see someone tweet out saying, man, the anime onlys must be so confused because this is probably just for the game only people.
I do not think anyone watching the anime as an anime only is confused at all.
don't
I think it's
so.
giving you exactly the information you need to understand what's going on in the main story of the game, and you don't have to play the game.
No, you do not. Like, let's get real. You do not have to play Mr. Love to understand what's going on. The anime is doing a good job of giving you strictly the plot, the basis, like basically the greater parts of each of these guys' chapters, and basically giving you what was important. We don't need the little stuff that was in there. Honestly, we don't. So they're giving us basically the keynotes on every single thing that happened with the important shit that happened within each chapter. So anime only is your golden. You don't need to be the weebs that we are that have played the game.
If anything,
you don't need to be the gamer girls that are playing the game.
Yeah.
So enjoy the anime, or gamer boys, whoever wants to play. Gamer people.
Yeah, I honestly think the anime does it better than the game. TBH.
And I've seen some people say that like they think the pacing is bad, and I'm like, what? Are we watching the same show?
Pacing is good.
We're getting all the information we need from the main story of the game without all the little filler parts from the game. Because let's face it,
12 episodes, you guys.
Let's face it, you have so much random information and shit that doesn't matter to the main story that happens in the chapters of the game, because they have to like flesh it out to make you like the characters and everything. Like, but aside from the dates, but of course, you have to unlock and wait for that stuff. At least when you're like going through the chapters, it's a little bit easier if you at least get your karma up. But you have to do like 5 other things just to like continue on with the story. At least with the anime, like you don't have to do that. You're getting, again, the main story beats and information that is important and pertains to the characters and each of their backstories at a good pace. Also, yeah, there's only 12 episodes. Like, you have to get all this information, all this important information, and all these important characters out as soon as you can, so that way it can further the story. So we can get to like, not a total conclusion, but like the end to like part 1 or whatever, however you want to label this season as.
Yeah. Like, sorry you guys that the romance stuff isn't like in here, and I know I saw somebody saying Lucian feels like less flirty. I'm like, yeah, but that also could be Bill. Well, but at the same time, I'm like, I kind of see it, what this person was talking about. I'm like, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, thinking logically from like, the directors and everyone involved with the anime, it's kind of like, and this is like a big concern from a lot of like people who haven't seen the anime. And I actually saw this in like somebody's live stream. And they were like, when it comes to otome, it's like you have to pick a guy. They have to pick a certain route. So it's like, what do you do? Or do you just end up doing like a whole giant mess trying to like do all the guys? And a lot of people, unfortunately, you guys do not like it when they do like, hey, here's this guy. Hey, here's the other guy. Or, hey, let's just go with this guy. And ends up like pissing the whole world off. So I think Mappa did a wise decision and like basically said, let's scrape all the romance. If they want to know the romance side of the stuff, they gotta play the game. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure this anime is just like an ad for the game too, for more people to experience the greatness that is Mr. Love.
But it's a good ad, because I feel like a lot of like anime based off of certain otome series, like literally will just throw too much at you, like that they really just want you to actually play the game instead of like actually watching the show. Because
there's been a
few that we watched that were like,
like no. They just want you to play the game. That's like, I'm not even interested in the anime. What makes you think that I want to play the game now?
Right. That's why I like that Mr. Love only has like this certain amount of characters.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I feel like it also depends on like what franchise it is, what series it is. Because if you're a series that starts off with a certain amount of boys, that's totally fine. I can get behind that. You know, that's totally cool. And then if you add boys later on, like that's also cool because it's like that's fine too. Like, oh, okay, I've gotten used to like this certain group of boys. Now I can like move up, like, you know, I can slowly add new ones. But when the show or the series like just kind of like throws like 50 boys at you like all at once in like 3 episodes, like I can't.
Yeah, it's like we love our
Like-
sausage fest, but not them.
Like yeah, exactly. Like I like that many sausages, you know. I don't mind that, a whole room, I guess, but at least want to get to know every sausage one by one. I don't know.
Because that will be me.
Like that's, and see, I don't like Ensemble Stars is a cute idea. I mean, it's not the first like idol school kind of thing, but that show really was like throwing like 50 boys at you, like 10 other boys at you like every episode, and I'm like, I can't keep up with like any of these characters. I feel like that show just wants me to play the game so I can understand each character, which I'm like not a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Mr. Love and like other series, you know, because it's like, oh, I have 4 boys starting off in Mr. Love. Cool, I can get to know each one of them like pretty in depth. And then like, okay, oh, we have Shaw now. Okay, so it's like 1 more boy. Like that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't mind that.
Yeah, the
Or
game
it's
gives
like-
us a good pacing on getting to know the guys.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, at this point in the game, we have a good understanding about who Lucian is, Victor, Kiro, and Gavin, right? And of course, we barely got, at least in the States, have gotten introduced to Shaw. So, it, you know what I mean? Like, it gives a good build-up for us to get to know them. There's not really much getting thrown our way as far as, like, additional people. So, I feel like it's a good pacing for us.
Yeah. There's something
Yeah,
else I
and-
wanted to add on, but I can't remember, so speak.
Yeah, and it's kind of like now that we've seen Shaw in the show, now I'm waiting for Helios, man.
We're calling it right now.
I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for him. I can't remember. Does Shaw show up before Helios in the game? Because I thought it was the other way around.
It's after.
It's after.
Is it
But
after?
I think
It
the
is
reason
after.
they brought him in was because, again, during Gavin's airport date, I feel like it's related to the plot. You know what I mean? As far as like
Yeah.
Black Swan having to get at the MC. So I felt like they tied it in. They're like, well, Gavin's Shaw's kind of here doing his thing, but he's also a mystery and he kind of adds on to the plot. Let's bring him in, which is, I kind of feel like that's kind of what happened. But you know what? Good on them because it adds to that tension. Like, I feel like I'm so glad. So something that we didn't really get in the game yet was seeing, well, at least for us, besides outside of the date, now that it's confirmed that was Shaw, like seeing them together was a good thing to see. So, but again, I felt like that added to the plot. And of course, we did see Ares.
Yeah.
Technically,
We
we saw
finally saw
Ares.
him.
I fucking knew it, and I called it. That's the point. Anyway, watch us get Helios. I'm telling you, right now, we're gonna get
Oh, we're
Helios.
definitely gonna get Helios,
Oh,
especially.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
So
And
I think I
I
said
warned
this
everyone.
in previous
I warned-
videos because I read the Chinese interviews with the VAs, and they were hinting like you might see some things. Like they were asking about Helios and Ares, and they were like,
We're getting
"Watch
them.
the anime." So I'm like,
And
so
watch
it's
Mia lose
basic-
her damn mind when we get Helios.
It's basically a yes. Bruh, I'm so hype. I'm so excited.
I will link the interview down below for the translating.
Like at first when Helios did come into the game, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, why you gotta do this to me? But now I'm like, nah, I'm all for that shit.
And
I
so
love
Sean
him.
Chiplock, apparently.
Hey man, can you blame him?
That was so funny.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Right.
As soon as that happened, I remember we like screenshotted that shit. We were like, Dani.
You guys
Why
don't
he
know what we're
replied-
talking
Why
about.
did he reply so fast?
In case you
Sean
don't know what we're
replied to
talking about,
Dani's.
I did, because I do
Yeah.
that. I tweeted at Sean Tiplock about how. So the gist of it was, I was like, "Hey," I was telling Mia that, "Hey, I'm like, you're probably gonna have to fight Sean over Kiro," and
It's because all I
didn't-
did was post a screenshot from the first episode, and I just wrote, "I love him."
and I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to fight Sean," and then I didn't expect him to answer, but he did, like, really fast. Like, I would say, like, within the first 10 minutes or something.
He was
And
like,
he was like-
that's cool.
He was like, "She can have him. I have Helios," and I'm like, "Damn, that's cold-blooded."
I legit like had to scream when that happened. I was like, "Oh my god!"
So
I didn't think
funny.
he was gonna respond when you tagged him.
That was hilarious.
That was so fucking great. I loved that. Ugh, that was hilarious. So I totally am gonna take a screenshot when we get Helios. Haha.
Do it so I can tweet. at
I'm gonna
Sean
write.
because-
I'm gonna write. I also love him. And then you can.
Then you have to fight.
Then you have to fight him. That's fine. I'll fight him. Whatever. I don't want to fight him, so don't take that out of context.
Speaking
No,
of-
I love
of
Sean
tweeting
too.
at-
I don't want to fight him.
Someone send this to Sean. No, I'm just kidding. No,
No,
nobody send this to Sean.
Please don't.
Dude,
I don't
bless
wanna
Bill
fight him.
Rogers, man. Bless Bill Rogers. After this episode, I had so many questions, and I was like, I can't ask Bill because he hasn't caught up on the episode.
But he's just as excited as we are. Just know that,
He
you guys.
is, but I think he misunderstood what I said because I legitimately just had questions about how he felt about the whole knowledge drop on Lucian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he hasn't caught up. He only watched the first two. Plus that man, he's busy. But bless him, he answered. He was like, I have questions too. And I'm like, bless this man. You play the game. He knows what's up.
He's like, I'm just in the dark as you guys.
Right? He's
I'm
like,
it's
I have
okay.
so many questions. And I'm like, bro, we all have questions.
I'm like, it's okay, Bill. We know you're not working on the anime. We gotta call
Yeah, like
Crunchyroll out if we want this to happen.
Right, like I knew that. I was just like, I can't wait for him to watch the episode just for like him to see and like I want to know what he would think, like seeing this episode. You know what I mean? That was like literally my question. I was just like, I wonder how he felt about the whole episode.
I know.
I'll ask him when he gets there
Oh,
because I'm
Bill.
not afraid to tweet at these people. I'm really not.
The man is so wholesome. I love it.
He is.
Danny
He's
Danny
wholesome,
tweets
yeah.
at everyone. They respond, so good on you.
Jill
I'm
has
always
promised.
I'm always too nervous to tweet,
With the
so I always
exception of-
reply.
With the exception of Joe Zija, who knows better.
Which
And like,
Joe
don't misunderstand
has-
what I'm saying, you guys. I
Yeah.
tweet at him a lot for like Gavin related stuff. He likes my tweets when it like comes to stuff like that, but at this point, he's so used to me doing that he's like, eh. Not saying that he's like disregarding it or anything. He's like so used to it. Whereas I get legit answers from Bill because again, he's part of the community. He plays the game, so that's really sweet. And then Sean likes to shit post, so that's what he does.
He does.
He does.
Yeah.
He's replied to me a couple times though, which is really nice.
Yeah, he's done that for me too. And he's like, yeah, he's really sweet.
I mean, all three of them have replied to me at least one time, so I feel pretty accomplished. They noticed.
That's true.
They
I
noticed us.
can't say that Joe hasn't responded because he has.
Even if it's just like a yes.
Yeah.
Right? He's
I'm
like,
just like,
yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I made
We'll
it.
take it.
Like, I'll take it.
I made it. I got noticed.
But getting a
But-
like from Joe is like really nice, especially when it's a Gavin tweet. He's like, yeah, my gosh.
I know, it's-
Acknowledgement.
I know when I message when I tag or reply to Sean Sean specifically with like Kira related stuff. I love when he likes my tweets because I'm like, fuck yeah. He's acknowledging it.
I know. Joe has promised us a 3-way with.
Yes. I know. I'm
If you guys have not seen the live stream that he did yesterday, the lovely Bill Rogers was with him, and my ass asked a Mr. Love question, which brought up the anime. Bless the chat because they were in on it. They were like, "Bro, wait, you should stream the anime," and then everyone's freaking out. And he was like, "I don't know if I do the anime." This is out of Josie's mouth, by the way. I want it noted that he said, "I will not stream the anime. I may go for the game." Everyone flipped out. What does Bill Rogers do? He's like, "Gay," which ended up in a conversation of, we should totally do a stream of playing the Mr. Love game. And y'all know Bill was like, "Let me play my game." You look on his face was priceless. But I want to note it that those were the words out of Josie's mouth. If you don't believe me, go to his Twitch and find that episode.
I got you.
It was a Transformers live stream out of his mouth. He said he'd totally do it.
I got you. Hold up. Let me share the screen.
No
right,
one believes me. I'll never not let that die.
Okay, let's see. Bear with me, you guys, because
I want to know. I should probably ask Bill Rogers how many Lucian dates he's unlocked. Although I highly suspect that he's also a Gavin stan like the rest of us are. So I'm wondering.
okay, here we
Woo!
go.
You have to make sure you click share audio when you pick the
Well, how do you
when
do
you
this?
share the screen.
Bill's reaction's
Like
wholesome.
when it
I love it so
when
much.
it gives you the option like to pick what you want to share, there's a little box at the bottom that says share audio.
Okay, let me put stop for a sec. I'm sorry, you guys. Some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio box next to the window. Anyways,
It
you
should
guys
be
keep
it should
talking.
be it should be at the bottom when you have your options of like what tabs you want to share.
Okay.
Y'all are in for a treat if you guys didn't watch the live stream yesterday.
Here we go.
So, E. Williams wants to know, I would like to ask Joe and Bill if they would stream together watching the MLQC anime. I might stream like. I know I was going to get Sean with a completely unrelated, but I think it'd be fun to have it fun and we'd be like a date. It'd be like a date. It'd be a three-way date.
Go on a date with
Yeah, I mean, like,
Well,
I don't know. I'd like to do it. I don't know if I would stream watching the anime, but I certainly might consider streaming the game a little bit.
Yeah.
There are so many Mr. Love fans in the chat. They're like, please do it.
If you're asking me on a date, Joe, I'll be
think
happy
this is
to join
it.
you.
Are we flirting right now? Is that how this is? I don't know how to do that. So, he will.
Oh,
Bless Bill Rogers. He's wholesome. He's part of our community. He knew what was up.
He's got a good quarantine beard going on there.
he does.
You know, right? That was
Heck
hilarious.
yeah, man! I'm so down to watching them play the game.
Joe has promised, and he keeps promising, and it never happens.
Especially like since like as far as I know, like Joe and Sean like probably even like actually not played the game. So I'm curious to see how the fuck they're gonna figure out that shit.
Let them
With
get
everyone
Bill
in
Rogers
the
who's played the game.
yeah, exactly. But also like to have all the people in the chat that have played the game have to like explain like what the fuck you're supposed to do.
Dude, you know how many people? Oh my god, let me in on that because oh my god, I'm not afraid to tell Joe shit about how to play the game. I'm telling you, give me that opportunity, I will take it.
I know. Joe has owed us this for like a good while. He's promising, and he's like, not right now. Maybe later.
Like, well, in his
but when is
defense,
later?
I know, right? In his defense, though, he has been busy, but at the same time, do it, Joe.
How much later is later?
Yeah,
When
Joe.
will later come?
Yeah, Joseph, do the thing,
Please.
please. I beg you.
Right.
Right? Rhythm Emerald in the chat. All we need is Helios. Hell yeah. I'm waiting for him as well. My ovaries are waiting.
How many people are
Next
gonna
week's
lose their mind?
episode, man.
Next week's episode is chapters 10 and 11 merged together. I'm ready. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for some more Victor information because they've added something that was interesting that I saw in some of the pictures, and I'm like, for the screenshots of it, I'm like, yep, give me some confirmation, bro. I've had
Pudding man.
some theories, bro. Help me confirm them.
The Adventures of Pudding Man and MC.
I'm sorry, you guys. That's just my lovable nickname that I have for Victor now. It's just Pudding Man. Anytime I eat flan, I think of Victor.
I was gonna say my nickname for him is Huge Dick.
Oh my god.
Not for the reason you think, but really for the reason you actually think. Yes.
Man, you
It's
know
not-
you're gonna have the same brain sometimes, right? I hope you know that.
Yeah. Good. That means we'll be friends forever.
Oh, and then the end cartoon girls. One is like Pain, at least for me. He's like on the rain, like out in the rain with the umbrella.
Oh,
And
those
then-
2 end cards for Lucian?
Yes. And then him in the hot springs, which just gave me vibes from his like birthday date from last year. And I'm like,
The Lucian stands were being fed today, I'm telling you.
me were.
I know all of these end cards have been really good. The past 3 ones that we've gotten of just each individual character have been really nice.
I know.
Like one has always shown like more of their like personality, and then the other one is always showing like how romantic they can be, which I think is
Right,
really
it
cool.
showed duality, man, but
Definitely good duality.
For sure. I think
So I'm curious to see what Victor's ones are gonna look like.
I know.
I'll keep my comments to myself.
I'm sure one is gonna be like with wine or something. Possibly be really not overtly sexual, but like very like implying. I'm sure he'll have wine in his hand and like his shirt pretty much partially open because that's like every other fucking Victor card.
Because
Yeah.
let's get real, guys. Victor's usually the model for fan service. Let's get real. Let's get real. Him and Lucian. And
Yeah,
now
they
Kiro
always-
with some of
they
the spicy
always-
ones.
Get like the sexy ones. I know Kiro's getting a lot more sexy ones, which I really appreciate. Like, damn, dude. That Hickey card, I still can't get that shit out of my brain.
Game dev.
And then
where's
after I read the like translations for that date, holy fuck. I can't wait till we get that shit in the game. Oh, I'm gonna
I can't
die.
wait for the new Valentine's Day karmas.
Oh, me too.
Because that's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be so good.
Mm,
And those new cards they just announced yesterday too. The new
If you guys haven't seen what we're
7th
talking about,
cards.
oh my god, the Chinese server got new karmas, and we have thoughts, guys. We have thoughts, among other things.
me too.
It's cool.
It was great. We're being fed very well.
I still think Kiro's a phoenix.
I think so too. I agree with your analysis of that.
Like
Mhm.
there, I was looking at his karma, and there's like fire in it. I'm like, if he's a golden crow, okay, whatever. But I still say phoenix.
Yeah, because that's what I've been seeing is Golden Crow. Golden Crow. I'm like, yeah, sure. But I guess.
I'm like, have you you guys answered no, but if any of you in the chat have ever seen like Ashes of Love, that's what the new karmas gave me. Like they gave me that vibe. So I'm like, yeah, Kiro's probably a phoenix, which is pretty dope.
It's really cool. That first picture of him too with like his back slightly turned. Oh my god. Bitch, I died. Several times.
Several times.
Yep.
They're
Everyone
making me
else had
thirsty.
really cool ones, and then Gavin's was all cute. And I'm like, why
I
can't
know.
the game devs just give him a sexy one for once? Just give me one, guys.
I know, I'm surprised.
It's because Gavin would die of embarrassment. Let's be real.
Let him die of embarrassment at least once.
Right?
You owe us a fan service, bro. You really do.
Sacrifices must be made.
For art, bro. For art. Then again, you know, Gavin in his official STF uniform and his military uniform is quality, but that's not the point.
Ugh, we're gonna get the Darkest Days chapters
Oh
animated.
god,
I'm
don't
sure.
do that. Nope.
Ugh.
Nope, don't wreck me this. Nope.
That's when shit hits the fan and
Oh,
I was
man,
crying for hours.
No.
You know it's coming.
I'm not
We
ready.
know it's coming.
I know. Oh, I'm not ready, you guys. No.
We still got 6 episodes left.
That wrecked me. You know it. Like I tell Chantel and Mia from time to time, that wrecked me, man.
We get wrecked a lot, man.
We do.
We do.
On a daily basis.
I need to show this one. Kevin blushing and dying on the inside is such a sight to behold. Yes.
He's a wholesome character. I can't.
He is. It's the sweetest thing.
He has a strong sense of justice, and he's just a wholesome, sweet boy.
He just wants to do what's right.
He does.
He follows
He's a
his
wholesome
heart.
man.
And that's why we love him.
That's true.
Oh, speaking of that, like I'm just remembering, we're gonna see that animated with Gavin pretty soon too.
Nope, don't do it. Don't say it. Nope, I'm not ready.
I know you know what I'm talking about. And I'm
not ready, dude. I'm not ready.
You guys can hear me screaming from a distance already.
Right, if you guys can hear us screaming, can you? I can.
I call this comment united to protect Gavin and the other guys.
Yes. They all deserve happiness, man.
They do. They all
Especially
deserve
Lucian,
happiness.
man. He's been done dirty from the beginning.
Yeah, like let's get real. Like we say all the guys deserve love, but Lucian's been through some shit. I feel like he just needs to like
Which is
settle
why I don't
down.
like all the Lucian hate, man.
He needs a vacation.
That man needs a
does.
vacation and much needed sleep.
He needs
He
a
does.
relaxing vacation with some sleep.
Not hopefully. He's just misunderstood, man.
I know. I actually don't understand all the Lucian hate. Like, I get it, you know, like he's shady sometimes, but once you kind of, but I feel like I say that more as like just a teasing joke. I don't actually mean it. It's more just kind of like, oh no, you've been kind of shady with me, Lucian. But then it's like, oh, but I see why he's being that way when you play the game.
Because
like,
even now, we still don't know whether or not if he's gonna flip the switch. Is he good or bad?
Yeah,
like what are his true intentions, man?
Yep, and I'll keep saying that till like excuse me. To the end of
He does not deserve the hate.
He doesn't deserve that hate. Like that's kind of something I don't know how many people in the chat have gotten far in the game, but there's a certain thing that Lucian does later on, and I can understand where the hate for Lucian might have stemmed from.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know after a certain event, I felt so betrayed by him, and it made me think of him differently.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like it that he's like super flirty and mysterious, but I'm like, I love that.
How do you not like someone being super flirty and mysterious? I don't understand that.
Like, hello, he covered on us at the very start, even though they,
like what
killed it in the anime, but still, it's okay.
I've never met someone who's ever had a problem with a character being flirty and romantic, and like also like really.
Because for most people, they're like, "Oh, that's the moment that I hated Lucian." I'm like, "Girl, Boy, people, why? Just because he told me, trust your instincts all seductively, as he had us against the wall.
I mean,
I don't know.
come on, people, let's face it. If an attractive man or person, whoever, if someone you thought was attractive did that to you and said that shit to you, wouldn't you feel a little attracted? I mean, it's not every day that shit happens to everybody, so, I personally would not feel strange. I mean, within context of the game, he is a hot stranger you just met, but still, like,
He deserves all the love just as much as the rest of the boys.
He does. Like, he doesn't. I'm sorry, guys, but his hate is unwarranted. I understand some of your reasonings, but unless you have like a valid point to make, the hate's unnecessary.
Yep. If y'all want to talk materials, then, Helios also kind of betrayed us too, so it's kind of like...
Well, Helios kind of betrays you like every time you see him.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't understand.
He's just kind of a jerk, but I don't mind
him
being.
But it's okay.
I don't mind him being a little soon today. Right.
Yeah,
he's not kind of a jerk. He is a jerk, but like
it's fine. Everything's fine.
I'm still I mean, MC's got a point. She's like, oh, he seems so familiar. Gee, I wonder why.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I like him.
He's a little dumb, okay? He's a little
that's
dumb.
like it's like that. That's why I'm still attracted to him, even though he's a jerk. There's just something about him that's so alluring.
It's like, let's be real. We love the mysterious and the guys that are complete jerks to us. We can't deny it.
I still want him to shove his hand down my throat and look me in the eyes while doing it.
The point being is, all the boys deserve the love.
Yeah, exactly.
No hate, just love. Especially Lucian, because my poor boy really does not deserve all the hate.
I mean, yeah, because you can like whatever characters you want, but being mean about it,
yeah,
like that doesn't help your
if
case.
you don't like a character, you don't need to bring someone else down about liking that character, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been a problem with. I'm just gonna say it. It's been a problem with the Mr. Love community. Is that I've literally seen them go at the Lucian stands and be like, well, why do you like this character? He's this, that, and the other. And a part of me is just like, you guys just want to pick a fight.
That's why I was always afraid of saying that I was a Lucian fan, because of how bad the hate was. That's how it... Oh my god, especially for Lucian's birthday last year, that was a whole fucking disaster. I am not even gonna go into it.
That's why at this point, like, if I like a character and I see, like, even if it's like, it doesn't seem to be shading the character, but it's like I hated when those unpopular opinion posts were coming out, and I personally felt like people were just using them to kind of like secretly shit on other characters by saying like, oh, they're like so basic, or like, but like saying it in like kind of a passive aggressive way. I'm just like, you then like, yeah, it's an unpopular opinion, but like you can word it to where you're not sounding like an ass.
Yeah.
That's why I never like added onto that conversation, because I'm like, I don't want to like make it sound like I'm saying something terrible like about a character that somebody really likes. That's why like I tend to like never say like, oh, this character is my least favorite or whatever, because it's just like people are gonna take it like the wrong way if I word it in a certain way. So it's just like, I'll just tell you which ones are my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask me about the other ones, well, I'll tell you what I like about them, and that's it.
Positive vibes all around, man.
I openly tell people, like, I have characters that I like and I dislike, but it's not like I'm gonna shit on the character unless they give me a reason to. Like, I openly admit, like, romantic-wise, Lucian is not my favorite. However, I do appreciate him and his character because I feel like his complexity adds to who he is, and that I respect.
Yeah. Right, yes. And I feel the same way too. It's just like romantically he's like, you know, not my top favorite or anything. But yeah, but I don't like groan every time I get to a chapter where it's like not my favorite character. Like I'm not like that. I'm just
Right,
you know,
yeah,
just
I'm not
like
bitching and complaining about
yeah,
it.
it's just like okay, I'm gonna see like what happens because sometimes like that stuff can kind of sway you a little bit towards another character, like make you like that. Oh shit, make you like that character more,
or make you
like
feel bad for liking the character.
Yeah, like you like I don't know. That's why it's just kind of like you can dislike a character, like that's fine. You can be constructive about it for your reasoning. Like maybe they're just not written well or something like that. But like saying like, oh, if you like them, you're like you must like really boring characters or like shit like that. It's just like so what if I'm a basic ass bitch and I like the most popular character or whatever? You know, like
Right.
I don't mind being the quote unquote basic ass bitch. I don't care. It's what I like.
Very true.
I like this comment that we just got. This one, yeah.
We should all like whoever we want, no matter
Exactly.
how many like to shit on us for liking them. Sometimes one person may see something the other doesn't either. Which is very true. That's why I always say it every time I'm like, oh, I don't like this character, but you guys can easily change my mind. Like, tell me your reasons. Because, you know, if you don't give me a reason, like,
Right, and you
how am I
can
supposed to see?
because like you know you can tell someone like, oh, I think you would like this character because you like this character, this character, and this character because based on your past like the past characters that you like you could kind of determine who someone's gonna probably be like interested in right off the bat. But you like actually don't ever know unless you actually like play the game or watch the show or whatever, like read the book, whatever, and like actually get into it. Because just judging it by like looks or like of course you could say like, oh, that character's kind of hot, they look interesting. But then sometimes it's like, okay, well, I played it or read it or whatever for this character, but I ended up liking this character.
Yeah.
So you really can't know if it's going to be like always the same characters that you like or not. Which is, again, why I think like just shitting on people and their likes in terms of the characters they like or whatever is just a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then like hiding behind like making it trying to sound like constructive criticism, like with the unpopular opinion shit, like yeah, it's an unpopular opinion for a reason because the way you make it sound is not good.
Let's face it, the popular opinion is just, like you said, an excuse just to shit on things that are popular or things that you know you're not supposed to be saying.
Yeah. That's why I hate those posts unless it's like about maybe like game elements or story elements. Then it's like, okay, I understand why that would be like something to say. But when it comes to like if you're just going to use it as an excuse again to like shit on people who like that character or like a popular character that you don't like or whatever, like just don't waste your time.
Yeah. Oh, slowly getting back my thought bubble that I lost a while
Yay.
ago. It's about the pacing and stuff. Like, I feel like us people as who play the game, I think we're being a little too hard on the anime. Like, the people saying, oh, the pacing is like really bad or it's too fast. I'm like,
Yeah.
at the same time, we kind of have to separate it. I know it's really hard to separate yourself from the game versus like the anime. But I think also me seeing other people that are like non-game players saying, oh my god, this is great. And this is like, you know, seeing them piece the puzzles and like making guesses and like actually following, like they can easily follow along the story from what I can see from the few people that I've been watching. It's not confusing, so that's why I'm like,
Yeah,
anytime I see
right.
somebody that says, I feel bad for the anime onlys, it's like, they're fine, they're thriving, they're good.
And my thing is, like, are you sure we're playing the same game? Because, like, have you been playing the game? Are you keeping up with it?
Yeah.
Because, like, how do you even know if the pacing is really bad if you haven't played the game in a while?
So I
And you
think
don't remember, like, what happened,
Yeah.
how the game
I
puts
think
its sequence of events.
I think we're just trying to be too critical, which is fine, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, you have to like stop and think, am I being overly critical to the point where it's like, it's kind of feeling a little bit like I'm shitting on it?
Yeah, before
Or,
you like watch an anime, like,
Like,
this goes for everybody.
just like think about it. Like,
if
think
you're
before
gonna
you
judge
speak.
an anime too harshly, you gotta really like look at the bigger picture. Like, one, we only have 12 episodes. Us who have played the game, honestly, I think the pacing is fine because again, we've talked about this a lot, and we're probably gonna continue talking about it.
Yeah.
We're getting to the plot. Unless you play the game, you're not gonna get all the little stuff. You're not gonna get all the little stuff or all the little romance stuff that happens. This anime is legitimately plot only.
Mm-hmm. Which is
We are
good,
getting the bits and pieces that we need to understand the story, to understand literally the first half of the game. That's it. I'm perfectly fine with it because even watching the anime, I'm just like, okay, I'm being reminded of the chapters. These are the key points. We're good. We're golden. That's what happened. And that's honestly all you need.
And it's also like, like with the game, like you have all the time in the world to get caught up in the game. It's not that hard.
Yes.
And with any of these mobile games, personally, I feel like it's not that hard to like get through the story. Even if you have to grind a little bit, to get past certain parts of, whatever game you're playing it is. But like when you really think about it, like it's not that hard. You have all the time in the world to catch up when every once in a while. With the anime, it's kind of like, well, we're only in this certain like time frame of like
you have a limited
the
time
information out there.
to do it. Yeah.
So like, I mean, of course you can go back and watch the anime, binge it whenever you want when it's fully done airing, but again, that's going to give you a limited time in terms of like how many episodes they paid for and are budgeting for and all that other shit, complex behind the scenes shit. So it's just like I really don't see a problem with that at all.
Yeah. See, I like this comment. Pace is all that matters to me.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah. Seeing the guys animated moving alongside the nostalgia, that's what should really matter, especially when we should thank Mappa for taking the time. Yes, Mappa is awesome.
And they're picking again the story beats that you need to understand the full picture of what's actually going on.
Yeah.
In the story, so it's like you're not missing anything.
You really aren't. As long as it makes sense, there isn't anything leaving you like, huh? Like if you were like, you like I said, as a game player, you kind of have to take yourself out and think of it as like an anime only. Like, okay, think of it anime only. Is this making sense? Story-wise, like, how is everything flowing? And, like, it's really hard. But again, like, I get it. When you're a game person, you kind of tend to be really critical about things. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you know what? Just relax. Enjoy it for what it is. Because there's been some other shitty ones out there.
It's like, let's get real, you guys. We've had it worse. This is actually one of the better animes out there that actually gives us a good clarification of what the game is like. So, just be grateful. If you don't like the anime, stop watching it. That's all there is to it. If that's what you're going to complain about, stop watching the anime. Like, and stop complaining to other people.
If the pacing is really the big problem you have with it, then then why are you watching it? Just play the game then. You don't have to watch the anime.
Right, if that's how you feel about it. Like don't ruin it for everybody else. If everyone else is fine with it, they're fine with it. Like, you don't need to be.
And if you're not playing the game,
out.
and if you're not playing the game and you want the story, then I mean, I guess read summaries of the story somewhere. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Either you get the main story with the anime, or you play the game, or you do both.
Mhm.
Like, people need to chill.
yes.
Right?
Just
Stop
enjoy it.
complaining to complain about the game and the anime. Just chill out. The great majority of us are happy with what we got.
We got them animated. What the hell else more do you want?
I know,
An
right?
English
We got
dub.
it animated in English dub.
Well, besides it's in English dub, of course.
Tweet at Crunchyroll.
Right.
This episode brought to you by Tweet at Crunchyroll.
Yes. Please do. Otherwise, they won't listen to us.
They will not listen to us. Just FYI.
If we make a lot of noise, eventually they're gonna have to listen to us.
Yeah,
But
if we
just
make up a
be
bunch
nice.
about it, they'll do it eventually. Maybe.
Yeah, if we bug them enough,
If we
they at
bug
least
them
have to acknowledge it.
Yeah, and be nice about it.
Yes, as we always say, please be nice about it. Don't be demanding and rude. You don't need to DM them or anything. Just tweet at them, hey, it would really be awesome if one of your next English dubs could be for Mr. Love, because we really love playing the game and we want to hear the English VA's dubbed voices, please, and
Which
thank
would
you.
be dope. Because again, they have expressed, like, if they were offered it, they'd be like, hell yeah.
They would do it. With that, you guys, I think we're gonna call it a night because it's pretty late.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
late.
And I gotta teach my kiddo tomorrow at 8:50. Bright and early.
And
Oh,
I
boy.
gotta wake up early too because it's someone's birthday.
No.
Yes. I'm gonna see if I can get Joe to tell her happy birthday.
Oh, good call.
She watches the streams with me, like when I'm off, and she'll watch like the live streams with me with Joe. So I'm gonna see if I can get her to see if I can get him to say happy birthday to her,
That'd be cool.
which would
That
be
being
adorable.
said, yeah. Next week, we'll be over on Mia's channel. We are live streaming as always. Over
Heck
on
yeah,
her
man.
channel. So if you guys want to hear us talk about Pudding Man next week, head over to her channel. And if you guys
Oh,
are
man,
seeing this later, I hope you guys enjoyed our really long ramblings, because I know we had a lot to say. We always have a lot to say. When do we not?
I'm sure everybody likes our long ramblings. Let's face it.
I hope so. Because I
And
love
if
our
you-
long ramblings.
And if you, I know, me too. If you don't, then oh well.
Why are you here?
Alright, it's time for nighty nights.
It is. It's time for Mimi's.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's time to go Mimi's. I tell my dog that all the time.
Me
It's
too.
like, can you go Mimi's now? Please go sleep.
So I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy out there, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful night. Thank you for sticking with us since it's like really late. We love y'all for sticking with us and listening to us and chatting with us. And thank you for bearing with me as I like do the stream stuff. So with
It's
that
all
being
good.
said, like I said, you guys, I hope you guys enjoy your good night.
Yes,
And we will
have a
see you
good night,
guys
everybody.
Yep, have a good night, everybody.
in the next week's episode. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.